really quick turnaround. Getting ready to go to Columbia tomorrow after getting back from uh, Baton Rouge last night. Um, South Carolina's had an extra day. They played at home Tuesday night against Ole Miss. So um, this, South Carolina, kind of, it's like our league is, competitive and uh, in some ways it's been a little wacky. Um, which team to get ready for? The one that beat Clemson. Um, Clemson's leading the ACC right now. The team that won at Rupp and made a bunch of threes and played great. Um, or a team that's kind of right now 1-4 in the league with the win at Rupp. Um, so obviously we're going to try to get ready for the team that beat Clemson and beat Kentucky, right? Um, really good from three. They got some really interesting players. Gigi Jackson was a guy that we recruited, and he's probably on the draft boards in the top 15 players coming out. And just a dynamic scoring forward. And then um, the kid Johnson that Meechie transferred from Ohio State. He made 6 threes at Rupp and just a great 3-point shooter. He sees it. He can make it. And by percentage, Carter is the best 3-point shooter in the league by percentage. So they have two great 3-point shooters that if they can see it, they can make it. And great player in Jackson. Um, um, so, and then it's kind of a sneaky good offensive rebounding team. They're ranked 49th nationally in offensive rebounding, so we got to do a good job of keeping them off the board. So, big thing for us, just continue to find a way to game plan and play with purpose on the road, and continue to manage. Chris Moore will travel with us. He's getting closer, but everybody's sort of stepping up around, not having one of our leaders.
Yeah, Gigi Jackson, I know Jalen's had some pretty good forwards he's gone up against lately. How does Gigi sort of compare to those guys?
His offense, he's a gifted offensive player, and I'm sure he's going to be really aggressive trying to make Jalen card him, but he's actually playing right now. They've been playing him at a lot of the three. The Citadel transfer, Brown, I've been really impressed with him. He's kind of been their glue guy. He played against. He did not play against Texas A&M. Now I apologize. I have not watched the Ole Miss game. Let me go back and check and see if he played. Well, here it is. No, check it. Did he play? He played. Okay, I haven't seen that game yet. So, but he's a real Brown. He's a real glue guy for them. And when he plays, Gigi's been playing 3, which makes them really pretty big on the.
Bruce, how weird is it going to be not seeing Frank Martin on the other side on the other bench, and what's he doing at UMass now?
Yeah, no, it'll be different being there. But I've coached in the SEC. My combined years at Auburn and Tennessee. I've been coaching. I think it's a year longer than even Cal in the league, if you add my time up at Tennessee and Auburn. So I go back to Dave Odom coaching at South Carolina, which is probably 4 coaches ago. So that's true. That's true in a lot of places in this league.
Speaking of that, did you get a chance to talk to Dale Brown last night?
Oh, it's great talking to Dale Brown. Man, I would. It'd be great if anybody wanted to write about this. Dale Brown is one of the great American patriots in our country. Read him, study him. This man loves his country. He loves his God. He loves his community. He does have conservative Christian values, which I certainly admire. Um, if it's wrong, he's just not afraid to step up and say it and do something about it. Um, just a man of conviction and character and courage. Um, a great coach. Obviously, his players loved him. Shaq gives him, a ton of credit for wouldn't be where he is without him. Um, it's just so great to see him. So wise, and he's got so much to give. We could learn so much from him.
I was going to ask about John I. These past two games, they had some of the more quieter ones on the year. Do you think that's because teams are like locking in on, keying in on him, or just the flow of the game?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's I think it's more. It's not what they're doing. I don't think it's what they're doing. Um, I think it's something that's very controllable by Janai. Um, and I think we're fortunate. Again, Janai's been one of our most consistent players, and the good thing from my standpoint about our team is the fact that when he hasn't carried us the last two games, we've still been able to win. Um, He'd been bothered a little bit by a toe sprain that I've not talked about. Slowed him down a little bit. But I'm hoping he's been getting treatment, and hopefully he can be a little bit more. I just say more active at both ends, and he'll be doubling it again.
Mark?
You got four guys averaging double figures in the SEC schedule. Is that going to be what you really need going forward?
Yeah, I mean our balance is going to be so really important, and that's the way it is working out. We've and the guys I think have been productive, more productive, better shooting percentages from those four guys that are in double figure. In a sense, even if you look at their SEC percentage, I don't have it in front of me, but they're pretty good. So we're getting, not only are they producing, but they're producing at a good percentage.
Tom, Bruce, Wayne obviously went through a little bit of that shooting slump in December and I guess the start of the year, but picked it up, certainly these last four games. What was really the key to him kind of just finding his rhythm again?
Well, I just think that the Georgia loss was a tough loss, Georgia's guards played great, and we kind of pointed out that in our three losses this year, Memphis, USC, and Georgia, that the guard play was a factor, and our guards took that to heart, and Wendell took that to heart, and Wendell has won his matchup almost every night, and it's not about just his matchup because. Our guards are responsible for different matching up against different guards. But I think since the Georgia game, our guards have outplayed their the competition. Matthew Morrell had a big scoring night against it. But overall, I think our guards have done a better job defending and certainly against South Carolina, against Carter and Johnson, they're going to have to.
Just with Jalen, the last three games, I thought I saw you had like 47 points, but really just kind of leading the offense and the scoring. I know you talked about him kind of stepping up, being a guy. Just what have you seen of him, the last couple of weeks and in the last few games that's really allowed him to kind of step into that?
Yeah, I think probably more locked in. Again, recognizing the opportunity, that we've worked so hard to put ourselves in, the opportunity that he's worked for and had to patiently wait through last season, and now he's, I think, taking advantage of it. and recognizing the importance that for us to be able to beat to continue to win, he needs to continue to do what he's doing, and so I do think it's a combination of being mentally focused, taking them one at a time. We have respected every opponent we've played, and as we should. For me, go back and look at LSU and go, all right, they beat Arkansas at home. They're like 12-1. They're borderline getting votes, and they lose, to some of the best teams in our league, and like Texas A&M or Alabama or at Kentucky, and with the exception of the home Florida loss, which isn't a terrible loss, but they're right there. And so, I think it's going to be a situation for all of us, maybe with the exception of a couple teams that are undefeated or whatever, really really good. You've got to be able to handle the winning and the losing. Ole Miss coming back last night or the other night, and being able to go to South Carolina, that's a great win for Ole Miss. Those guys could have kind of give it. So again, it's a lot about matchups, and it's a lot about respecting your opponent. We will respect South Carolina because they've got a couple of great wins this year. The win over Clemson and the win at Rupp. Those are two of the best wins in our league.
We'll take two more quick ones. Get the players. Brian first.
KD would seem more in control last night than he has been in the past. How has he progressed? Coming off the bench, kind of taking on a role player kind of.
Yeah, I mean KD and Zepp both draw tough defensive assignments. We put those guys on oftentimes the opponent's best offensive players, and here in this winning streak now, or in the last 4 games, they've done a great job defensively, and I think they've been I think they've been efficient offensively in this sense. I mean, I would say in the last 4 games, the 2 of them, I'm going to guess, have maybe 4 turnovers in 4 games combined. That's a strong statement, but I bet you it's not too far from from where it's at. And that's just being patient and not and just being great teammates. And yet, we know KD can be very explosive. It was good to see him knock a couple 3 balls down last night. And then he had one really good playmaking play. KD can go by you. And I think part of the interesting thing about the way the game is called is they're allowing the defense to wall you up and to be vertical. And so while KD he can go by his men, when he gets into the land of the Giants, with great consistency, the officials have allowed verticality, guys being able to play, using their bodies, making people score through the chest, and as a result, he's not able to score. But because he can go by, we need to continue to encourage him to go by, and then maybe be more of a playmaker.
Last one, Tom. Bruce, kind of going back to Jalen. I remember after that Miami loss in the tournament, you said you're excited to kind of build it around him this season. Is this kind of what you envisioned then?
It is, but I think just like Janai not being there, double-ish the last 2 games, when Jalen isn't, if it's in Columbia or if it's someplace next, will we get the step up from that next man, and that's what's really key. I don't want to put it on it. It'd be hard to put it on anybody. But clearly the 4 guys that are in double digits right now, are guys that have been pretty consistent, and if those guys continue to perform like that, it gives us a fighting chance.